How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Definitely excited that you're able to call me today. Thank you so much for taking the time out.
No worries.
Yeah, so I hear you guys are doing a pretty insane tour, the Dirty Dozen tour. Who came up with that?
Yeah. Somewhere somebody said, oh yeah, Dirty Dozen tour, you know, or whatever, and we're all fans of the movie.
Oh,
So we're like, let's just call it the Dirty Dozen tour.
There's no other way to put it. I mean, you guys are rock stars in your own right. You guys, this is not like a new band per se. You guys starting out.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Geradol.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to say it that way, but a lot of you guys.
Crüe juice, thank you. That's what, 2 staples on a rider. Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't want to say that. I want to be very respectful. But, you know, some of you guys, I mean, we're talking Whitesnake, you know. Was it Brian Tichy on your band? It was with Ozzy Osbourne for a while and Foreigner.
Yeah, Brian's played with Ozzy, Billy Idol, Foreigner, Zach Wild, and we had a thing called Pride and Glory. You know, Brian was in Whitesnake for a little bit. And, you know, he's one of those guys, man. It's like, you know, if you want solid, amazing drums, you know, that's the guy you call.
That's the guy you call.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And so I know that the lineup has, you know, shifted. It's changed a lot since it starts. You guys formed the band.
Oh, yes and no.
A little bit.
I think, you know, David Lowy, our guitar player, he started the band in 2012 with an amazing singer named John Stevens. If you're familiar with In Excess, John came in after Michael passed away.
Yeah.
And, you know, John's, you know, like in Australia, they started the band in Sydney. And John and David in Australia were well known, and so they got together, they wrote songs, and then they went in the studio and did, you know, did an album, and they used like session guys. And then they, you know, they finished the record, and they're like, oh, well, now let's go do some shows. And so they put a band together. Some of it didn't work out because, you know, some people just didn't work out.
Right, as it happens.
You know, but I kind of look at it like, for lack of a better term, love both of those guys to death, but they kind of did it ass backwards. You know, I mean, any other band would get together with a group of guys, hang out, jam a little bit, go in, write, do a record, try and get it, whatever, and then move on. They did the record and then tried to put a band together and go out tour, and like I said, some of the guys didn't work.
Yeah.
Some of it was because of scheduling. Like, Marco was in the band pretty much from the very beginning, our bass player.
Marco Mendoza.
Yes. Marco was in there, and, you know, he was like, yeah, there was a couple of drummers, like, God, what's his name? He's in the cult right now, John, I can't remember his name, but John was in the cult, and, like, he had to split, go back, you know, do some cult dates, so that you could get another drummer.
John Tempesta.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah, so, you know, then they called Brian, and then, you know, when I first joined, Brian couldn't do a portion of the test tour that we were doing. So we just called Tommy Clufettos, had him come in. He did, you know, some of the shows, and then Brian came back. I think ultimately David's goal was to get to a point where he had a band, but a lot of it was like scheduling conflicts, or you know, some people like, you know, there was a couple points where you know, like David had a family emergency, he had to split, go home. Last year, Richard Fortis, it was about a year and a half ago, right before we did Australia, Richard Fortis got into a really bad motorcycle accident.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and we had to have somebody fill in for him, and then, you know, and then it was weird. Richard and Dizzy got the gig to go back to GNR, so enter Doug Aldrich, and, you know, we went out, we did a record with Doug, and we toured, And then we did the live album with the same lineup, and now we're getting ready to go back into the studio again.
Wow.
With the same lineup. So I think at this point, we've gotten it to the point where everybody's happy, everybody digs the band, everybody's happy being in the band. Yes, we're here, we're done growing up. This is the band whether you like it or not.
That's right. And I kind of got to say, I love how casually you threw in GNR for our listeners. That would be the little group known as Guns N' Roses. That Richard
those guys.
Those guys.
Yeah, they're okay.
They're okay. They're all right. I've heard some of their stuff.
Yeah, I've heard some of their tunes once before.
Right.
I don't know where, but somewhere.
And so, and I do want to bring up the fact, I mean, you also were, you sang with Mötley Crüe, the Scream. I mean, you've got a bit of a background yourself. Does it feel like it's a bunch of, veterans getting in there, or is it still very fresh, like when you guys get together? I mean, do y'all practice?
That just depends on what day you talk to them. And how much coffee or how much, whatever. No, it's... You know what, honestly, I can't say it enough. I've been kind of doing interviews all day today, and, it's funny, but I can genuinely speak for everybody when we just sit here and we're like, this thing, we knew going into it with everybody's background that we were going to raise some eyebrows. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, there's really no rhyme or reason for what we're doing. Right. We're all just a bunch of friends. I've known Doug Aldrich since he was 15 years old back in Philadelphia.
Wow.
Doug and I are from Philly.
So before Whitesnake,
way before Whitesnake. I mean, it was like white worm at that point. You know what I mean? It wasn't even quite a snake yet. Right. But I mean, we're going way back. So. We've known each other for, and then I've known Brian and Marco since 92 or 3. So we're just, honestly, we're a bunch of old friends. We all dig the same kind of era of music, like that, mid-60s to 1980s, kind of classic rock, Zeppelin, Aerosmith, Queen, Bowie, like... We all dig that stuff, and we're just having fun. We've got this amazing team of people that just said, you know what? The new medium is social media.
It's insane.
And and honestly, we have a photographer that travels with us. He's like part of the band. And he just videotapes and takes photos, and he's always on Instagram, always on Facebook, always on Twitter. They bombard the internet. We don't charge any of the fans for meet and greets, and it's just all about the band putting out music. And like David, our guitar player, said, why would I charge people to come backstage so that we can say thank you to them for buying our record and coming to our show? Like, why would we do that? So that's just our thing, and we just kind of bombard everybody through the social media and just let them know that we're alive and kicking, and we're out there playing, and it's working.
Yeah, and we're
connecting with people.
Yeah, and it is working. I mean, I've watched some of your things online. Same, social media. That's where it is. And you guys, your energy level is great. You seem like you're having fun, and man, you guys can play some rock. You really can.
We're again, it's like you got to kind of sit there for all of us. We're all kind of pinching ourselves, going, okay, here we are, 30 plus years into our career, and we're still going. We're actually gaining momentum. We're actually doing something from the ground up. We're not joining Mötley Crüe. We're not joining Whitesnake. This is something brand new from the ground up, and we're watching it develop and blossom into this awesome thing. And like I said today, like, we just got word today from our management company, like, dude, American band, 20 days in, it's got over 1 million views. And we're just like, that's insane. insane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're pinching ourselves on a daily basis. You know what I mean?
Well,
it's kind of weird.
That's really good to hear. And as far as I do work the radio station that I'm with. It's all volunteer. It's a community. It's a radio station nonprofit, and we promote local artists. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, and my number one job is to book local artists on a spotlight that we do every Tuesday morning for a show, and and I feel like I'm doing my part. And I wish more radio stations, a little bit more mainstream, would focus a little bit more on the good talent that's right nearby. Do you have any kind of advice you could give one of these bands? That I've seen out here for the last 5 years, just playing shows, playing gigs. Any advice to them? At this point in your career, something you could tell that young guy back, in his 20s or 30s.
You know what, man? Just keep playing, keep practicing. Don't get discouraged. Listen. At the end of the day, nowadays, the cool thing is, there's some negatives. Like I just said, yes, there's no MTV. Yes, there's no. You're probably not going to get radio support.
Right.
You're probably not going to go out and 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when bands were selling 2, 5, 10 million copies of their record. That's few and far between. Bands don't do that anymore. But there's a way for you, if you hustle and you figure out this whole social media thing, there's ways for you to do it and make a living and just do what you love doing. And I kind of felt it was weird. My dad passed away a couple years ago, and he said something to me it was the most amazing thing ever. And I was kind of taking stock of my I was having a midlife crisis, and I was kind of sitting there going, man, what do I have to show for all this, these years? And he just stopped me dead in my tracks. And he said the most amazing thing. He goes, you know what? I always wanted to be an artist, like a painter.
Wow.
When I was, but he says back when I was, Korean War days in the 50s and early 60s, he goes, you got married, you had kids, you put on a suit and tie, and you went to work. You did a job. And he goes, I did that, and I made a very good living, but I was freaking miserable.
Right.
And I finally, in his late 60s and 70s, he was able to retire and paint and do the things that he really truly loved to do. He goes, but you, on the other hand, he goes, yeah, you might look around and you might go, well, I don't have this, or I don't have that, or I don't have this. He goes, but you've been married and divorced a couple times, you got kids, you've got a nice home, you've got, all, you don't, whatever, but he goes, you did it all doing what you love to do. And that's really all that matters. So to these new bands, I tell them all the time, man, just be happy, do what you do, don't get discouraged, and you know what, there's a way for you to sell yourself to everybody.
Right.
So you just gotta hustle, man.
That's amazing.
And if that doesn't work, just quit and just go back to school. And get a real job.
Get a real job.
That's my old-fashioned Italian dad talking.
I love that. I really do appreciate that advice, and I will make sure to spread that around here to all of our favorite bands. And just to kind of give a little plug, you guys are going to be here in Dallas on Wednesday. That's August 23rd at Gas Monkey, the bar and grill.
Yes.
Live. Yeah.
You got the face